Hey friends, I hope you're doing great. This is video number 2 for Saturday, July 19th. If you're new, welcome. My name's Lisa. We do all things here, planning and stationery and stickers and all kinds of fun stuff and chit chat. If that is something you might be interested in, I hope you will hang around, grab your planner, grab your journal and something yummy to drink, and we're gonna jump right in. I wanted to set up my pages for next week in my personal rings. So this is basically my one book July. Even though I always keep up my memory keeper in my Hobonichi weeks, I have generally had like a 2-book system over and above my Hobonichi weeks. I've had rings for a resource. I've been in a traveler's notebook. I've been in so many different planners this year. And while I will archive everything, this is like a year of record with memories, appointments, everything just kind of gets jotted down in here. But my main day-to-day planning for July is going on in my rings, because if I wanted to do like the one book to encompass everything, monthly, weekly, daily, garden, faith, notes, health, work, YouTube, I'm just everything, then I had to jump back to my personal rings, because in my traveler's notebook systems, which I have different sizes in traveler's notebook systems, but I don't have like my work set up in there. I don't have my health history, at least as far back like the 5 years that I have in my rings. I don't have that in there. I'm trying to think what else. My most recent traveler's notebook, of course I had my monthly, my weekly. I actually did put June's YouTube stats in here. I had my dailies. Here I had some scripture writing. And then this I was going to use for sermon notes, which I still may actually do that. I might put this in my Bible bag and keep this for my scripture notes. This is a standard, regular, or narrow traveler's notebook from Gilio. It is the Giramondo Deluxe. And I love this. I love this traveler's notebook. I have traveler's notebooks in standard. I have them in a B6, B6 Slims, and A6, and I also have a personal. So I do really love traveler's notebooks, and I've really tried traveler's notebooks many times for the one, like be-all planner. The everyday carry has everything in it, but I've never been able to quite figure out how to have enough books to have a separate book for health, a separate book for YouTube, a separate book for work, faith, daily, weekly, monthly. That's something I've just kind of been racking my brain on, and just I'd like to. And then when I do that, it gets really extremely heavy. And so I'm just kind of, I'm trying to figure it out. I am trying to figure out how that could be possible, or am I forever going to be in just rings or a 2-book system where you have a resource binder and rings, and then you have your everyday carry in a traveler's notebook. I don't know. When I sit down in the evening, I would love for everything to be in one place and not have to carry 2 things around, but I just throw it in my planner tote and it is what it is. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. If you've been with my channel for any length of time, you know that you've seen me in lots of different planners. Lots of different planners. I do have a few planners that are on my pre-order list. I have the hiccups. For this year. When I make all my final decisions and I get all those in, I will do some videos and reviews on those planners. So this particular week, very busy week with appointments and all kinds of things going on. So next week we're going to plan in here, And I think what I might do is move some things aside. And oh, I did go to Target and I picked up a couple of each of the adhesive pockets. 20 count in the large ones, 30 count in the small ones, just to tide me over for a couple years. I don't always get to Target. I'm not a big Target shopper, so I was able to get there and pick up some adhesive pockets. It is in their Target dollar spot, their back to school, you know, thing going on right now. So if you like to use those, you might want to get out and grab them up. So yeah, I have picked this color in my Stampin' Up, and it's called Apricot Appeal, just to do my highlighting on my weekly. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and get going on this. I thought this was a pretty yellow for July. Not very many days left in July. Okay. So I hope you guys are doing awesome. I'm a little bit late filming this week, but yesterday was a super busy day and I was not able to, actually I don't think I want that there. Wasn't able to get filming, wasn't able to film yesterday. And plus, with the shoulder injury, I've had just a really rough time, you guys. I mean, it's just crazy. I did get my MRI results back, which I did talk about in my Hobonichi Weeks video, but if you don't use Hobonichi Weeks, you probably won't watch that video. But so some tears, some bursitis, some tendinosis. I have an appointment with a specialist on August 13th, and I'm praying the answer is simply going to be physical therapy. Yeah, that's my hope and my prayer, because I'm not up for surgery. These little birds are so cute, you guys. I love it. I love it. And these are from a Hobby Lobby sticker sheet. So cute. So I need some date dots. Yeah. Usually evenings and mornings are the worst. Today I took my mom, or I met my mom actually, at the salon for a manicure pedicure. And by the time I was done, I had such pain in my shoulder and my upper right arm from the damage that's, you know, been done, that I came home, took my Tylenol, and I did my best to fall asleep in my chair for a while because it was just crazy pain. But trying to do my stretches because I don't want frozen shoulder. That's another concern with having to wait so long to get in, you know, with the specialist, is, you know, you don't want to end up with frozen shoulder. That's a, you know, that's a concern. So we'll see how it goes. I do the stretches and it's pretty good. I can't, like, when my arm's down to my side, I can't like lift my arm up out sideways. I can lift it with my left arm and pulling up, and it doesn't hurt, but it just doesn't have that range of motion or the ability to raise itself because of the tears. So I don't know what's gonna happen. We shall see. Okay, so I need some menu stickers or food stickers. Let's see what we have. Put this here. Let's track my lunch and dinner. Lunch is always yogurt, basically, but you know. And we've got our to-do. Oops, that goes over here. My grocery list. You know, see, that's the thing, is there's so much convenience. There's so much convenience with rings that once you get used to using a rings planner, it's so hard to figure out a way to put your system into a bound book or traveler's notebooks. I'd say traveler's notebooks are probably a little bit easier when you're tracking long-term things like your health, or like my work. I have a 5-year work insert. Now that can be printed out, of course, and made into a little traveler's notebook insert. You're just talking about more bulk, more, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so I'm a tracker. I don't know about you guys, but I'll tell you, I can so easily forget things that if I'm not in my planner every day going over my list of to-dos or you know, whatever project is that I want to be working on, gosh, I just get busy, or you know, just let the events of the week just kind of take over, and I forget, like, okay, you were supposed to do this, you were supposed to do that. So easy to do that. All right, I think that is everything for my weekly. And then let's see here. So here's tomorrow, and then I need to set up my dailies. I'm still using the day on 2 pages from Roro Designs, which I really do like. And incidentally, I have this in a few sizes, and if you wanted to do a traveler's notebook, because it's not dated and you don't have to worry about that kind of like special structure of a TN printable, you could easily make this into a TN day on 2 pages. She also offers this particular insert as a day on 1 page separately in her shop on Etsy. But yeah, just FYI, it's a really great insert. So I'm just going to set my planner aside and pull these pages over. And I thought I might try, let me get some skinny washi to go with my other. I was going to try some, use some of my Coffee Monsters Co. Yeah, thought I would do that, and I thought that would be fun. So for the first page, I'm going to use this vertical washi, and I'm just going to do the sides basically instead of across the top. And this is a little polka dot. It's hard to see, but there are little pink and green and light beige polka dots on this light brown washi. And sometimes I just like to outline my pages for the day. Once in a while I'll flip through my little clear binders where I archive these over the years, and it's so fun to just peek through at all the old pages that I decorated and look at some of the journaling and go, oh yeah, I remember that, or oh, that was so fun. So whether it's, you know, a bound book or rings, so easily archivable, you know. This makes it really nice. There's that. And I really do need, I've decided to use, am I gonna do that? Yeah. So Monday's the 21st. I need some day stickers. I think I'm gonna go for my abbreviated dailies, which are from Terry and Design. And all the shops that I purchase things from, whether I use it today or not, will be in the description box. So you can easily find all these shops. Let me see here. I thought I might do a little bit of a just a little highlight up there with a beige. That'd be kind of fun. And put that down. Okay, so let me put that up. Okay, so whoops. We have Tuesday. So I think I'm gonna choose, washies are so tight in this drawer. Use this one from the most recent sub box. So cute. It's just hanging out in the chair with your books and your planner. It's like, oh, it's like the perfect washi for me. That's the perfect evening in my life. Is my planner, my journal, in my cozy chair with my heating pad on low. I don't know about you guys, but I have a heating pad on my chair, like always, because I carry all my tension and stress in my back muscles, and that, having that, my heating pad on my chair is so wonderful that it just takes everything, just relaxes me totally in the evening. Seriously. It's kind of a pretty, I don't know if I like that too much. Trying to put some washi for the top. Let's see here. Actually, I think I'm going to do this one. I really have enjoyed using this day on 2 pages and doing like my daily notes and a little bit of journaling on this right hand page. Even if I don't have a lot to put on the time, you know, like the timestamp side, I always add stuff to my task list and whatnot, of course, but having this full page has been really nice. Lately, I've just had a lot to write about, just everything that's been going on. You know, so this day, I believe that's what I had for my, oh, let me see here. Grab this real quick. Yeah, 11:30 Tuesday. My mom has neuropathy in her legs, and she's had like 4 back surgeries, and so luckily now she's on a mild nerve pain medicine, but we still see that doctor. And what I'm very thankful for is this pain clinic here where I live that we go to. We're Christians. They're all Christian physicians, and you know, they pray with you, and it's just, I don't know, it's very comforting when we go into their office and whatnot. Okay, so here's another one that I love from a different sub box, and this is also books and planners and washies and reading, and that's another fun one. Let me push this up so I can get in frame, because God knows I'm the worst about that, falling out of frame. Last night we went to our friend's house for their annual fireworks show, and they always do it like a couple weeks after 4th of July. And then some of our other friends that were there, when it was all over, we left and we found the one place in town that was still open that served ice cream, and we went and had some ice cream. And I did not get into bed until 11 o'clock, which is quite past my bedtime, but yeah, it was really nice. Okay, I need some dark blue skinny washi. They put on a really nice fireworks show. One of their friends is certified, whatever it's called, fireworks, you know, where they can light off the big ones, you know. So they have all this property at their house, and they go way out in the field, and you know, first they start out with these cute little kid friendly little things up by the house, And they were so cute. They went off, and when they come down, they're little parachutes. I'd never seen anything like it. It was so cute. These little tiny parachutes that come down from the sky. So darn cute. The kids just loved it. So fun to see the little ones enjoy all of that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put this on my Tuesday. There's that. There's that. And we need a Wednesday. You know, I do say in most of my videos too that when I'm setting up a full week and I'm, doing, setting up in the video, and if it's too long for you, don't have time, or plan with me, so to speak, setting up for a week is not for you. You can always fast forward to the end where I will flip through and show, and share what I set up. So something to think about. Let's see here. Let's use this again. Kind of bring in that. Yeah, I like that. I have been watching those, a bunch of videos. A bunch of the girls are doing the Day Designer or the Blue Sky or whatever these little planners are called. They're like the A6 size and Mambi Plans. I so enjoy her channel, but she put bigger coils on it. I mean, she is knocking it out of the park with this cute little planner, and all the customizations. And I'll tell you, her videos make it very tempting to go to, Staples or Target or wherever to buy one of these, but I've refrained. But it's, what they're doing with them are so cute. All of this customization of these little Day Designer planners. I really enjoy watching those. I watched a lot of videos, whether it's a planner that I use or not, just because so many of the ideas you can incorporate into other systems. But yeah, she's got a fun channel with that Day Designer. And gosh, who else? I think there's a lot of people using it right now. Some Mambi Plans. I don't know. I can't think right now, but if you just type into YouTube, Day Designer, you'll come up with tons of videos. And that's been fun watching them customize these little planners. It has been fun. Okay, I need something with some greens and some golds, which I'm going to do this up here. When it comes to rings, I think we're kind of limited, or especially when the rings are this small and they're very structured printables, the page is very filled, kind of limited with how you can decorate. I mean, you can use all kinds of little icon stickers, but as far as larger washi and stuff, I feel a little bit limited, but I do my best to make it fun. So every day when I turn to my new page, I'm going to want to jump in there and start writing. Whoops, not ready for that yet. There's that. Okay, let's see. My mother-in-law, she's having a lot of blood problems right now. If you're a praying person, she can use all the prayers she can get. Hemoglobin was down to 6 something. So obviously we're very concerned with that. Very concerned. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? I think I will do this cute, this is another vertical washi from one of the sub boxes. It takes up a lot of space, but that's okay. I'm going to use it anyway. Oh, this is the washi card that actually came with this kit too. And I need some light blue washi. I think I'm going to do this one. Okay, there's that. Guys, can you believe we're almost at the end of July already? Oh my gosh, so crazy. So crazy to think. I am going to do a little bit different here. I'm going to do some blue. This one's about out of ink, but that's good enough. There's that. And I do have some stickers that go with some of this washi, so I might come back in here when I'm done and throw down a couple stickers from the last kits that I have. All right, let's see. This one is super pretty. This was just a floral, but this does have the Coffee Monsters Co. little emoji face or whatever you call that. Super cute. So I thought maybe I would thought maybe I would tear this. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use it the sideways that it's supposed to be. I think I'm expecting another sub box pretty soon. I don't know, maybe in August or something. This is my first year being on the Coffee Monsters Co. sub box. Well, I should say last Q4 of 2024 was my first one, and I've enjoyed it. I do use some of her stickers too. I usually will just place like an annual order of some of her my favorites from her shop. So I'll probably do that soon, maybe in the fall, I'm not sure. That's a pretty one. This little skinny washi is kind of like a checker, and it looks like the lines are either white or a pale yellow, so it goes really nicely. I cannot wait to start reviewing 2026 planners. Planners and systems. Compiling a Mandolin Plans order to stock up on some of my text stickers that I use from her too. So cute, so cute. Okay. Now we have Sunday. Let's see. I have this Coffee Monsters Co. washi. It's like book washi. It's super cute. It's a little bit big, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's taken up a lot of my real estate here. Oops. My next quarterly sub kit that I get from Coffee Monsters Co. I'm gonna have to rearrange my washies because I can't fit any more in that row. You know what I like is on Etsy, there you have a lot of sellers that stock up on Coffee Monsters Co. washi, and you can buy washi cards with a bunch of different washis on it, like to try them out, and you get like a couple feet or something of each, or you can pick different lengths of the washis to to test. You get a lot of different, you know, styles, without necessarily having to commit to a whole roll. I've done that a couple times, which I like. Let's see here. Oops. 2. Okay. It's a little bit bigger than the actual, but this washi is much thicker. Okay, there we go. There's that. And I'm going to use this like greigey color. It's not beige, it's not gray, it's kind of in between. I love these skinny washies. I buy them in sets off Amazon. And I use them a lot. I'll do a little bit of a flip through too on my personal rings, so I can show you just kind of where I'm at with some things. Last few days, this week I've been so busy with so many appointments that I haven't had time to do as much in some of my planner that I would have liked, but I think I'll have time this weekend to catch up on some of the things that I wanted to get done. Let me get this out of here. Those washi tapes. Okay, put this away and put this away. All right, so let's kind of just go back to my weekly. So this is all ready for next week, set up. I wonder if I could add a couple things here. Let me see what maybe I could add in here. I think I could add this in between those little sections. That little flower. This is those that little sheet of stickers with all the birds and the leaves, and it's really pretty, from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so that's next week. And then for my dailies, Monday and Tuesday. Whoops. I wanted to do this. This is just kind of blended with all my colors this week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I like those. It's going to be fun to look at all the Coffee Monsters go this coming week. In my garden section, this one is kind of tough because I did make a list. I put this little sticker on here. It's from the Greenstock company. They always send you cute stickers from Greenstock when you place an order. But I do like this for dating when I sow seeds, when I'm fertilizing. I did not keep up on this. I fertilized a couple times since here, and I didn't write it down. So I do like having this section in my planner. I don't know that I'll use it as in depth as I really had hoped to, especially because this year's just been so crazy for me. But in my faith section, I have a couple sets of scripture, and then I have a Monday through Sunday where each day I have like a little list of specific people, groups, entities, whatever it might be that I pray for. And then I have like just random prayer requests, something that I've been asked to pray about, whatever the case may be. And when that prayer is answered, I mark it so I know, and I just keep going. So that is something that you could easily do in a little traveler's notebook booklet if you so chose to do in a TN. And then I started scripture writing in here, and I only got a couple days done this week because, like I said, it's just been such an insane week. So I only got a couple done in there, but I will pick up and do some more. I need to print some more of these pages. This is by Perpetual Plans. I want to print some more of these inserts. I love this floral outlined insert. My notes, I have a lot of Plan with B florals that I just will jot down things. My finance is basically like order tracking, expenses, things like that. YouTube is just where I track my subscriber count when I post videos. My anthology notes is my 5-year work, insert, where this is just something for me to keep track of all my responsibilities for our business, making sure I'm getting everything done. If I have notes, I'll slap post-it notes down here if I have questions from the accountant and whatnot. So this one I started 2.5 years ago in 2023, and I keep a list of the warranties for one of our products that provides our clients product warranty. So I have to keep a list of that I submit to them. Then I have my health section. So I keep track of obviously medications, in case of emergency or something like that. And then I keep track of all my appointments, any like these recent MRIs that I've had, anything that needs to be jotted down that I want specifically in here and not just like your medical provider portal. I try to really keep everything in hard copy. I print everything out too and keep a folder. These particular inserts, which are personal size, are from Haru Plans for doctor's visits. Then I have my, I still have my post-it dashboards in here. And then here I have, just a Cat Espresso Co. little double pocket and my, my page lifter. But, yeah, so it's just, somebody asked me to do a video on like how my planning system has evolved over time. And I think, in my early years, like for 20 years, I had a salon. So I used one of those big planners that I would keep at the, like the reception desk at the salon. And that's the kind of planner I used for all of my appointments and everyone's appointments in the salon. And, that's how I planned. That was basically what I did for 20 years. When I went into corporate America, when I moved to Texas, I had like a Franklin Covey classic where I would keep track of things, and some of the ladies I worked with were using Franklin Covey Compact. I'm like, oh my gosh, it'd be so much easier to tote around. So I ended up in like a personal size. And I don't remember now at that time if I used just like personal size or if I used Franklin Covey insert. I can't remember. But that was like the first time I bought myself like an actual personal size planner cover. And I bought a pre-owned Louis Vuitton monogram off of a Japanese seller on eBay. And I think it's like, now it's like 20 something years old. I bought it and it was probably 18 years old when I bought it. I don't know now, but, and I still have it to this day. I still use it occasionally. And that's how it all started, is with that, with personal rings. And I've evolved in so many different things. Hobonichi Weeks, Wonderland 222 B6, Aura Estelle B6. I love the Aura Estelle products. I love their setups and many of their planners. But for some reason, the gel pens that I use, like my Coletto C, it feels like their paper has a coating on it. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it differs from like the Tomoe River paper that I purchase and use in my printables, or the Tomoe River paper in a Hobonichi, or the Wonderland 222. I don't have any problems, but for some reason, the couple times I've tried the Aura Estelle planner, I don't like the way my pens write on the paper. So I've ended up trashing those, putting them on the shelf because it just didn't work for me. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And I honestly don't know what the difference is in the paper, but for me, for some reason, it's not an ideal paper for the pens that I like to use. So, but I do love their planner covers. They have fabulous planner covers. And it seems like no matter what I do, I can't seem to get my entire system into a bound book or into a traveler's notebook. Because like my health, these long-term things that are easily in a rings planner, I don't feel like I could do it in a bound notebook or a bound book, but I could do it in a traveler's notebook if I had just the right inserts and took the time to write everything out to get me started. I feel like I could do that, in addition to regular traveler's notebook inserts for your monthly, your daily, your weekly, and what have you. So those are the things I'm taking into consideration is all, bound book, traveler's notebook, and rings. Those are like my three go-tos for planning. I always seem to come back to rings because of the flexibility and to be able to keep going with my health, my work, my YouTube, things that are more long-term, if I want everything in one place. When I get away from that and I go to a traveler's notebook or I go to a bound book, inevitably my social media, my work, and my health stay in a ring binder, like as a resource binder, where this will be in my planner tote. It would be a 2-book system where in the evenings when I go in here and I have to mark down anything for work or for YouTube, or I need to make notes in my health section, that's just always in my planner tote. So it's not a horrible setup if you really want it to be in a bound book or a TN for your everyday carry. Everyday carry for me would be monthly, weekly, daily journaling, faith, which it can easily be put into a traveler's notebook or a bound book. Those could easily happen. The garden is another thing that would probably, I could do that if there was extra pages that I could make into a gardening section for that particular year. And I could always go back to my previous years in my resource archive books. But yeah, that's pretty much how my system has evolved over the years that I've been planning. I would say that in my early years where I had my salon, it was more of an appointment book type system. And I didn't do a lot of like this type of planning. I was massively into scrapbooking. I have massive amounts of scrapbooks for my daughter, and that's kind of where I did all my memory keeping, or journal about events or vacations or birthdays or whatever. I have all of that in those big scrapbooks for my daughter. And I have some like family vacation ones. I have one for our wedding, and just different scrapbooks. I have one for the first house we built. And it's always been fun. So that whole scrapbooking, memory keeping thing that I've kind of downsized into my Hobonichi Weeks, it's really not the same. This is just so minor in comparison, but of course your kids grow up, they get married, so on and so forth. But that is pretty much how my planning system has evolved over time. So I've used Stalogy notebooks for bullet journaling. I've also done bullet journaling, which is really fun, but I don't like drawing everything out. So I would take like a week on 2 pages, I would print it on one side, and I would paste it down into the Stalogy notebook, and then I would decorate like the daily pages or my morning pages or whatever after that. And I do have videos on my channel of those things. So if there's any of those systems that you're interested in seeing, like maybe how I use them, you could go back in my channel, back on my channel and look through the list of videos. I try to put in my video title the particular planner that I'm videoing at that time. So you can always go back and look in those. But yeah, I appreciate the request for just kind of an overview of my planner system throughout the years. That's pretty much, for the most part, in a nutshell, of how I've evolved over the years. In the 10 years, or actually it was like, 12 or 13 years, I guess, I was in corporate America. I always kept a planner like this, mainly in rings, sometimes a bound Stalogy or something, but because I had appointments, I had, notes for my, all my customers, and I had to keep very detailed things in the industry that I worked in and what I did, which was directly with law enforcement, and I had to really keep good notes and follow-ups and everything. So, it's evolved, and I love rings, I love traveler's notebooks, I love bound books, and I think throughout my time, those are the 3 systems that I will probably continuously be in and out of. I will always try to have 1 year of review in something, whether it be rings or a bound book, because I do archive everything. And the main thing to me, archiving, is also like memories and things like that. So I archive everything. And I think I've said that many times on this channel, but and it's easy to archive no matter what you're in. So yeah, thank you for that request. I appreciate it. I hope that answered your question. If you have anything further, leave me a comment below. If I show something today that I haven't linked a store or something, leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are going forward for 2026. If you're doing any, I know some folks have said, they've already purchased or pre-ordered their Wonderland 222. Fabulous. I would love to see Wonderland 222 come out with a B6 Slim, as Sterling Ink has in their full year, or even their compact. I know that Just Scribble is coming out this year with some items for a B6 Slim size, which I'm really excited to see that. So yeah, just there's so many awesome options in the planner community now. I mean, if you can't find something that you absolutely fall in love with, or a couple somethings, I don't know, because there's so many options now that we have. But you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you're still here, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you have a great upcoming week in the summertime if you're vacationing. Enjoy the summer, and thank you for being here. I appreciate your support, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.